More than 3,800 soldiers and 250 striker vehicles from Alaska are in Louisiana tonight, fighting on a simulated battlefield that replicates Iraq. Soldiers from the 172nd Striker Brigade are honing their skills before deploying to the real Iraq in August.
Channel 2's Angela Unruh has spent the week with the brigade and joins us from Fort Polk, Louisiana, with an inside look at the brigade's training. Angela.
Hey, Angela.
Maria, John, Fort Polk is the headquarters for JRTC, or the Joint Readiness Training Center. This battlefield is extremely realistic. Combine rocket-propelled grenades, suicide car bombers, and Iraqi immigrants, and you have a recipe for a complicated battlefield, the most complicated battlefield American forces will ever encounter. And a warning, although no one was injured during the filming of this story, some images may be disturbing.
Hey, we're taking fire!
Mayhem, confusion, stress. It's an organized chaos designed to prepare troops to fight global terrorism.
All those things combined can make a soldier, you know, get overwhelmed fairly quickly. So we try to provide that environment so that when he's overwhelmed here, it's not the first time he's overwhelmed.
What makes this battlefield unique is the 1,400 role players who occupy the 18 villages that comprise the fictitious province of Talatha. 250 of them are Iraqi immigrants.
It just adds to the realism. It gets the soldiers used to dealing with their interpreters, how to use their interpreters, and then also gives them the opportunity to start learning the language themselves while they're interacting with the Iraqi people.
Fort Polk's Joint Readiness Training Center consists of 5 lanes or battlefields. Each area replicates conditions and situations soldiers are currently facing in Iraq.
This is the closest you can get to combat without actually being shot at.
The Army goes to great lengths to make the training as realistic as possible. And the test begins. This is the village of Sadiq. Troops from Fort Wainwright are tasked with, among other things, building a rapport with the Iraqis who live here and confirming a possible report of insurgents in the village.
The water, the schools, if you bring this stuff, the people will be quiet and cooperate with us.
Minutes after troops meet with the town's mayor, gunfire erupts.
Man, she tossed it down 12 o'clock.
Each training ground is equipped with OCs, or observer controllers, who watch the unit's every move and later provide feedback so soldiers learn what they did right and what they did wrong.
Basically right now we're just we're at 4 casualties right now. Might be more.
The casualties, of course, are fake. The troops are using simulated fire.
Every weapon has a laser on it, and that laser acts as a shot.
Blanks replicate the sound of gunfire, and each soldier wears a special device called miles. It's like laser tag. If the laser hits them, their vest beeps to let the soldiers know they've been hit.
We give him a card, and that replicates the injury, and then the medic is able to look at that card and see what he needs to treat. When you die here, it's nothing more than you take a green key and you turn the guy back on and he's back into the fight.
It sucks, because it takes you out the game, you know? You want to be there, and you want to do your job and protect your fellow soldiers and everything, but then you get shot and you can't do nothing but lay there, and then they got to go out of the way to pick you up and take you back and fix you. It's not good.
It's reassuring to a sense that you know nothing's gonna happen to you, but over there it's just anything goes. Bullets don't have any, special direction. They fly and they just go straight.
On a battlefield a few hundred yards away, Fort Richardson soldiers work to secure a compound and protect the village's religious leader. The soldiers set up checkpoints on each side of the village. They search every car that enters the village, but as a truck approaches a compound where the religious leader is housed, it doesn't stop. It's one more way to make this training as realistic as possible.
I learned that you never know where the enemy's at, which I already knew that, but you never know where they're at. You always got to have security no matter where you're going, where you're at. Your elements always have to be secure.
Where there is war, there will be wounds, and on another battlefield, the special effects continue as medical specialists from Fort Rich and Fort Wainwright are put to the test. They must treat the wounded, then evacuate injured soldiers via helicopter.
You know, we're usually used to working in a building, 4 walls, secure, not too much going on. You get into the village, I had probably 30 people between me. I was working on a patient, 30 people, Iraqis, come up to me, and I had one person to try and guard me. And it didn't work too well.
We try and stress them out just as much as possible, create as chaotic and stressful condition. You got smoke going in their face and people yelling at them, and their own soldiers yelling at them because everybody's kind of in a state, everybody's in an organized state of chaos there.
Despite the stress, the lessons learned on these battlefields are priceless.
What you save here is lives. If you can learn lessons here, having a soldier get shot and killed and having a buzzer go off in his ear, you're a lot better off than having a soldier get shot and killed in country and learning that same lesson there where it costs a soldier his life.
It's a strategy that Army officials say provides the key to victory on any future battlefield.
It's kind of like game on. This is the Super Bowl of training for the Army.
The 172nd Stryker Brigade will train here for a few more weeks before returning to Alaska. Then they will deploy to Iraq in August. John and Maria.
Angela, you mentioned the troops are fighting insurgents. Do the Iraqis play that role?
No, actually, that role is played by soldiers based here at Fort Polk, and I'm told they're an extremely elite group of soldiers who give troops a pretty good run for their money during training. And regarding the Iraqi immigrants, I will have much more on them tonight at 10 o'clock.
Well, Angela, you and photographer Dave Stewart seem to have had remarkable access. I'm curious, did the two of you play a role in this as well? Did they treat you as embedded journalists, so to speak?
Actually, that's funny you ask. They didn't know that we were quote-unquote real media, and a few of the soldiers did think that we were actually there role-playing along with the Iraqi immigrants. So we had some trouble getting a couple of interviews because of that.
Well, fascinating stories, great stories, both you and Dave. Thank you so much, Angela.
We'll be tuning in at 10. Thanks, Angela.